So I chase the bucks, your friends looking like you changing up. Remember back when I would chase the bus, niggas is racing for short durations, running from their sins. When I was just a kid, running from my pen, people is talking, I Tony Hawk them, I swear to ground.
What's going on, everyone? This is your boy AshTheMan, and welcome to the video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Akudama Drive and a review for the whole season. Now, Akudama Drive lasted for 12 episodes. It's a particular anime that was announced that it was in production March 2020, and the original manga premiered July 7, 2020, while the anime didn't premiere until later to October 8, 2020. And this was due to the corona. Things happened, but both the manga and the television series both ended December 24th, 2020. Now, I don't know what's the big difference for this and what the manga or the anime may have difference. Maybe I'll do a later video, and if it is any big difference, if not, we're just gonna keep it with this, you know. I do know the best place to watch this, and probably like the only place to really watch this, is Funimation. So if you have Funimation, check it out, love it. But however, what is Akudama Drive? It's a cyberpunk themed anime. The world of this is very much like in a distant, like dystopia future, where you have these two cities that is pretty much consist of like these criminals. More like two cities, more like one. The other city, which is Kento, is left in ruin. It's left in ruin due to a particular war that didn't particularly happen. But however, in the current city, Kensei, you have these high-skilled criminals, which is called Akudamas. Now, these Akudamas, due to the kind of crimes they committed, are pretty much criminals who's going to have to serve an X amount of years. Now, in this world, you get to see a lot of augmentation. You get to see a lot of futuristic things. This world definitely does take it on a crazy, turn when you got to explore the environments as the anime goes on. Now, the setting of this, the plot that really gets us is that there are these Akudamas that pretty much receives a job. A client pretty much advises them to pretty much stop the execution and free Akudama called Cutthroat before he killed. They pretty much respond to the challenge, and they head to the Kensei police station to pretty much free him and receive their big payday. Now, once they're inside, they discover that there's a little bit more of a scheme going on here, in which draws in just not only these 4 Akudamas, but a total of 7. Now, the 4 Akudamas that was called in for this job was Brawler, Hacker, Doctor, and Coroner. Now, as they free Cutthroat, he becomes the 5th. Hoodlum and Swindler is the other 2 that pretty much wasn't a part of the plan, that became a part of the plan. Swindler being that she was an ordinary girl who pretty much swindled herself out of like not getting arrested and stuff like that, and that's how she got her name. But she really wasn't a criminal. She's actually a really nice person who pretty much really speaks up for her. Coroner, he's pretty much like a cold individual who makes sure he gets the job done. Any kind of job he gets, he makes sure it gets done with this crazy customized bike. Brawler being this really strong fist fighter who pretty much go for the excitement. Hacker, he's a hacker. He hacks systems and remotely accessible things. He lives for the thrill too. He pretty much challenges himself. Doctor, a master, surgeon, chemistress, the whole 9 yards. Doctor has a little bit more going on than what people led to believe, but she feels that she gets the thrill of holding the lives of people in her hands. And later we gonna talk about that. Hoodlum, he's just a low criminal, pretty much get by. He would sell himself. He would do anything. He would lie to your face. He's a con man. That's pretty much the best way to do it. Now, Cutthroat is an insane man who was on death row, who beheaded 1,000 victims. So yeah, he's crazy as shit, and that's what makes up this crazy Akudama team that is set to infiltrate this train to get this special cargo that consists of a brother and a sister who apparently has an eternal trait that stops them from dying, in which they are supposed to become the vessels of Kento because their society is locked into a drive. Sounds kind of crazy, right? But I just only a brief of it. But let's go into this. Now, the way this story lines up is that when they infiltrate and take this cargo again, you got a brother and sister who's in this cargo. Now, when they rescue them, part of the other job that they are assigned on is deliver them to a particular location so that they can get to a safe destination and they can be free. Now, on this, they have executioners that are following them, they're trying to execute them, and in which it really doesn't work out well for the Akudamas as when the executioners start being hot on their trail. This one executioner who had his pupil, he was a badass. He was knocking everybody around until this episode where him and Brawler got into this crazy fight. Him and Brawler was beaten up before then. Like, both of them had injuries. Both of them got unsold due to their fighting. And they had this crazy, wonderful fight. I mean, it was one of the best fights that you probably ever going to see. And they ended up both dying, both kicking the dust. Now, Brawler, yes, I did say it. Brawler did kick the dust because he is the first one to pretty much bite the dust. But, in any story, you're going to get that. Now, as the story goes on, after they make it to this location, this is where things makes a crazy twist. And I think this is probably one of my favorite episodes, is when Doctor actually makes a turn for the worse and actually betrays everybody. Yeah, she betrays everybody. She takes a deal with the executioners to have her Akudama drive away so she can get the location of the brother and sister and the other Akudamas that is involved in this heist. And things works out where everybody gets separated. Swindler, she and sister get pushed out to another location. The coroner gets pushed out to another location. Hector already dipped before this, so technically, not only was Brawler lost, Hector already left, so they was already man short as it is. So they didn't know nothing was coming. Hoodlum, he becomes Dr. Little Plaything, and Cutthroat, he was already injured due to previous encounters, so he gets off somewhere else. So honestly, this leading up to after that, Doctor wanted to capture the brother and sister to examine them and figure out like how they are able to stay internally so she can hold people's lives in her hands. Crazy twist. Now we have Swindler, who is trying to get these kids to a safe environment so they can live out their lives. So she make a deal with Coroner, and that's pretty much what they're set up on. Now Hacker comes back later to help them out. Cutthroat try to kill Swindler, in which eventually he ends up biting the dust because he has this crazy obsession with her, and yeah, he end up biting the dust later. Hoodlum, again, he is Dr. Little Plaything, but long story short, you get to see what happened. I'm not gonna ruin too much for you guys, but that's just how things get crazy. So with that summing up of how the story is going, how does this theory stack up to character development? Now, I think character development for this, because you think about it, 7 particular individuals on top of 2 other ones who later makes an appearance with the executioners coming into play, at least the boss, the pupil, and the master executioner. I think they did a great job with character development. One of the craziest things that could kill a series is not having a great, great time with each character is making their impact. And I think every character made an impact in their own unique way, in their own unique time. Not everybody had this. I'm not saying that everybody needs to have like the same screen time, but when they have that interaction, they have that impactful moment, you definitely leaves that memory when it comes to that impactful feeling that you will always be able to retrace, and that character really does stand out. And every character does. I mean, I have friends who love Brawler more. I have friends who love Coroner more. Me personally, I love Doctor and Cutthroat the most. And yeah, the character development was fantastic. I think that's the best thing you could say about Akudama Drive, is that the character development was great. It with no shadow of a doubt has one of the best character developments I have seen in any anime. Because you have some characters who really doesn't live up to the expectations, who literally get looked over, who literally doesn't even match up to what they try to do, but they did their job. You have to, not for a doubt, give them That's the best thing you get about Akudama Drive is the character development. Now visuals. Now that's another great thing about them is that they visuals. I will say this, and I mean, people may argue me. I know a lot of people are going to agree with me on this, but some people may argue me about this. Akudama Drive has the best visuals in any anime this year. The best. And I mean, I have been watching countless animes back to back all year. Like going from ID Invaded, Darwin's Game, Geifnir, fucking Sword Art, Fire Force. Come on, I've been on it. Akudama Drive, it got the best visuals. It got the best, not just only to the way the character designs is, the cities, just the way the action scenes go. Man, it literally stands out, and that's another great thing about it. You is going to love the visuals. So yeah, Akudama Drive takes that too. So let's move on. Now we talking about visuals. How does the sound quality? The sound quality isn't bad. Isn't bad at all. I'm not saying that the sound has the best choice in certain scenarios, but it wasn't like you had people talking and they're still talking in the mouth closed, and no, never nothing like that in this. What you have in here is a very well sounded. I think every character who sounded off of each character was definitely great. Some music could have been better for certain scenarios, but it doesn't mean that the music bad. I just would have been like a better choice in my opinion for like certain situations. But for suspense, for I think the last episode, the sound was great. So yeah, it gets a plus on that. The sound was good. The sound was definitely was good. Just again, I would have definitely had some different choices, but that's just me. I don't want to pick off like I'm trying to give it any type of like bad or anything like that. But yeah. But let's go into this. So let's just sum this up to overall. So we got great character development, we got great visuals, and we have a good sound to this, and the story is definitely interesting with leading up to a good production team. And by the way, Danganronpa and Zero Escape is the people behind Akudama Drive. So where did that leave us? Honestly, if you had to say it, Akudama Drive is incredible. I'm gonna stick by the words. It was incredible. It was amazing. I'm telling you, each episode will have you so engaged into being involved in this anime. It's insane. Like the action is there. You could tell it was sort of like a love interest between Swindler and Coroner. Like he was cold as hell, but it was like he just had his way of just treating certain people. Now, honestly, you have to give it. It's character development. That's one of the big things for me. I love character development. I love the interaction. I love when characters stand out, and that's definitely what makes it for me. And Akudama Drive did a great thing in that. I think that is they took that, that punk, futuristic thing, and they ran with it. They did it in ways that we just wouldn't imagine that anime would do it. Honestly. And if you have to ask me, yes, this is one of the contenders for anime of the year. Some people have already said that this is the anime of the year. Yeah, I think it's one of the contenders, and if it was to win anime of the year, I wouldn't disagree with it. Now, I would have a different choice, but I wouldn't disagree with it. It deserves it. Like, it's a lot of animes that I felt, well, a few animes that I felt that deserve anime of the year for this year, but there can only be one. But I will understand if this wins because it did a great job. It kept me on my seats. I always wanted to come back and watch it. I never felt like, let me make it through this episode. Nah, I was in there. I was in there. So I recommend this to friends, family, enemies. I recommend this to everybody. If you're looking for an anime that not only keeps you engaged, but also keeps you hyped, that keeps you on your edge, that keeps you wanting for more, that's Akudama Drive. So that's me to y'all about Akudama Drive review. Watch it, love it, like it. But again, thank you guys for definitely tuning in for this. And if you guys would do me the utmost pleasure, not only would you leave a like, would you share, would you leave a comment and tell me what you guys' favorite moment for Akudama Drive. And I can tell you mine right now. It's when Doctor, and I said this already, but it's when Doctor made a transition and betrayed everybody. Man, that was a moment. That was a fucking moment. But overall, tell me what you guys think. Tell me how you guys would love if they was to do something like this again. But unfortunately, this cast has ran its course. But again, thank you guys for definitely so much for stopping by. Please leave a like. Anybody new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That definitely would help me out. But other than that, AshTheMan is out. Peace.